love another talk with you over coffee. You always look so great, like a movie star framed in light, sweet.
Hi everyone, I am here with Celeste and we're going to talk weddings and all the fun that went along with Celeste's wedding, marriage to Ian. So first of all, Celeste, how long have you been married for?
11 years this year.
And where did you get married?
So we got married in South Africa. I am South African and Ian is Scottish, and we met in the Netherlands, and he proposed in South Africa and we got married in South Africa before moving here. So.
What were you both doing in the Netherlands?
I was working as an au pair and Ian was working in a homeless shelter. Wow. So he was on a gap year that lasted 8 years.
We moved to the Netherlands for a 2-year adventure and stayed for 5.5 years. So hey, it's clearly a place that we like to stay. It's
exactly.
So fun. So how did he propose?
He arrived on the Saturday and we went straight from the airport. It's about 4 hours drive from my home. And we got to the house and he wanted to go on a walk immediately. And he took his backpack and we walked all around town. It's a small town. And I showed him the old church and he wanted to stop. And I kept saying, no, come, I'll show you some more and I'll show you some more. Until finally we got to this beautiful old tree. And he said, okay, now we're stopping. And then he did the whole thing, went on one knee and proposed. And and then we went home and asked my parents.
Oh, so. Lovely. And how long were you engaged?
9 months. So we knew each other 9 months when we got engaged. We were engaged 9 months when we got married. And 9 months married when I got pregnant with Andrew. And somehow the 9 months of just...
That's the thing. And then 9 months and had a baby.
Exactly. And then we moved here, so...
Lovely. And so you got married in South Africa. So did a lot of Ian's family come down for the wedding?
Actually, no. Well, his entire family came, but he has a very small family.
Okay.
So his parents came, his brother and sister, and his brother's girlfriend at the time, now wife, and his uncle, and they were the only ones. And then we had 2 friends from the Netherlands, a couple who came and 2 couples who came from the UK. And that's it. So it was like my big fat Greek wedding. His side of the church had literally 10 people in it, and then my side was full.
And how many bridesmaids did you have?
I had 2. I had my sister and Ian's sister.
Okay. And what colour were their dresses?
Dark blue. So we matched Ian's tartan. He chose the Malcolm tartan, which is the dark blue with a red and a yellow stripe. And we had the dark blue. So their dresses were long dark blue with a bolero type thing, because it was in the winter in South Africa.
Which is like our summer,
exactly.
Probably.
And all the Brits came in their summer dresses because they were loving the sun, and we were all, even my wedding dress had long sleeves.
So the fun thing about weddings is the things that go wrong, or I should say the fun stories that then become funny stories. Was there anything that went wrong?
I must admit, nothing really springs to mind. I think if anything went wrong, they kept it well hidden from me. I wasn't aware of most of it. The one thing, we tried to do a Scottish dance, a Cayley dance. Ian asked if we could have just one at the wedding. And him and his sister were trying to teach us how to do it. And it just, I think it was Strip the Willow. And it just...
the best one.
Well, the South Africans just could not. We couldn't get it right. So in the end, we just gave up. That was the one big thing.
So with all the different cultural mix, was there any cultural things about the wedding? Is there anything in South Africa that you would do that we wouldn't do here for weddings?
So one of the key things is that the groom does a speech. So all the speeches were different. Here, there's a toast on the groom and a toast on the bride. Whereas in South Africa, you have toasts on the parents. So someone toasted my parents, someone toasted Ian's parents, and then someone toasted us as a couple. That's different. And then the groom stands up and does a speech and he thanks everyone, and then he says how much he loves his wife, etc. But all of the young unmarried men and sometimes married men come and sit in front of him and mock him almost.
Oh, really?
He has to really struggle to speak over him. It's almost like a rite of passage. They have to shout over him and tease him and take his notes off him, all of that. And he has to, he has to continue until finally they keep quiet and they let him speak. And it was really funny. Ian was aware of it, so he did really well. He had second note in his sporran, so when they took the first note off, he had it, and they blew bubbles at him, but he just kept going. And his poor sister hated it because she wasn't aware what was happening. She just kept saying, leave him alone. And then when Ian was finished, he said his last words, and then someone from the back row said, and now do it in Afrikaans.
Whoa.
Which he could speak at the time, but not as good. So he just turned to me and said, "Ek is baie lief vir jou," which means I love you very much. And that was it. So that's it.
Nice. And so how many children do you have now, Celeste?
We have 5, but I have to explain that a bit. We had 2, and then we tried for number 3, and then we got 3 at once. So we have 5 children, but I've only had 3 pregnancies. And yeah, so married 10 years and 5 children.
Lovely. So Celeste has 3 books, sorry. So we have the children's book, Tommy's Mummy is Sad. Then there is the Care.
Yes, The Forgotten. That's short
lovely.
stories about the people that I worked as a care worker with. And then there's Taking Root, which is a poetry book.
Okay, so the links are below to see more about Celeste and her books. So yeah, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Bye.
I'd love another talk with you over coffee. You always look so great, like a movie star frame